Hi guys, welcome to Term 2 and your first multimedia lesson. First formal one, that is. At the end of last term I did put out the Game Maker application and said that's where we'd be working, and some of you have probably started working there. But I'm going to go through this formally now and introduce a Game Maker. Some of you may be past this, but let's step away through for the term. So Game Maker is a game making environment, and as you can see from the slide here, there's many things you can do, creating single level, multi-level games, and the full version of Game Maker actually allows you to commercialize those games. So just getting started, the first couple of things we want to have a look at the topics. So we're looking at the Game Maker program and what it is, our required files that we'll need to create the first game, which is the chicken and egg, and I've attached the files all into the classroom, so you can either access them in the classroom or you can access them via Moodle, which you all have access to, and download them and create a folder for them. Installing Game Maker. Now on Moodle I've given you access to the original version I used to use for this topic, which is version 8, but 8.1 is also available out in the net, and I think I'll attach 8.1 into Moodle as well, and I've supplied it in the classroom for you to access and install. The good thing about 8.1 is it is an exe file, which allows you to just click on the file and it'll install the game to your computer. Now it is a PC based game, so if you have any other computer other than a PC, you may need to come into school and borrow a computer to do this topic. You shouldn't necessarily need an internet connection, but you will need a computer to work with. And then we're going to have a look at just getting started in the basic environment and the difference between advanced mode and simple mode, and looking around the application. So our learning intentions for this topic at the moment, understanding what Game Maker is, and it's a application to create games. Huge market out there in the global IT environment these days, and especially with the current situation we're in, a lot of people are realizing their deficiencies, I suppose, in online accessibility and entertainment, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger with the online environment. Know how to install Game Maker, and it's basically, if you download Game Maker 8, I think I've supplied it in a zip version, and you will need a zip program to extract it and install it to your computer. The easy way is to get 8.1, which is an exe file, double click on it, and it should just install to your computer simply and easy. If anyone has any questions of that, make sure you ask me online and I'll walk you through the process, and your classmates are also working on the same thing, so start a discussion and we'll get through that first step. How to access the resource files. So I've supplied them in the classroom. Again, I'm new to classroom. I'm hoping that works, that I've got them there where you can access them, and we'll work our way through those issues. But also you've still got access to Moodle, and I've got them all there. If you go into the chicken and egg resources, you should be able to click on those and open them up and download them to your local machine so that you can start to access them. And then we're going to have a look at the basic work environment. Now, when it installs, you will get a question about simple mode and advanced mode, and we're just going to have a look at what that means and the differences between simple mode and advanced mode. Your success criteria for this lesson, which is basically identifying that you understand the concepts that I've taught today. So the success criteria is that you know what Game Maker is, and as we talked about, it's basically an application to create games. It brings in the ability to create games to the average person. It used to be an environment for technical people or geeks, and these days IT has really been brought into the laps of everyone, and applications like this allow that to happen. Hopefully you have successfully or can successfully install GameMaker, and that's one of the success criteria. Once you've installed that, you can tick that box, say yes, I've installed GameMaker and I've got it running on my computer. Successfully download the resource files. So again, they are in Moodle. I've also put them in Classroom. Hopefully that works. But being able to download those, create a folder and save them so you can access them and create the game is another tick box of success. Understanding the difference between advanced mode and simple mode. Being able to switch between those modes. Now I think once you become familiar, you'll just leave it in advanced mode. The additional icons are put there, we're not using at this stage, so it really doesn't matter whether you work in simple or advanced, but just knowing the difference, and if there's icons on some tutorials that you haven't got on your screen, it may be the fact that you're in simple mode and the tutorial's in advanced mode. And that you can basically move around the work environment as I show you where some of the icons are. And with most software applications, there's multiple ways to achieve a single outcome. Like you can access things through a menu item, or through the ribbon at the top of the screen may have the icons on there as well. So just being able to find icons if you've got to create a sprite, knowing the image for the sprite creator, or being able to go to Resources, create new sprite. And that's the first exercise we'll be doing in the next lesson. So I'll just start up GameMaker afresh. So I've already got it installed. Now it comes up with a banner about purchasing the program, which you can do, and it's relatively cheap to purchase, but you don't need to. This is a trial version, so all you have to really do is close that window down, and you've got a whole lot of information on the first screen, which is a lot of marketing news. If you just go File, New, it'll get rid of that. Now over in the side here, it's also got a basic game, the first game, and in some times when I've run this course, I've actually run through this basic game, which gives you an introduction to the program. But we're starting with chicken and egg. You can go through and have a go at that if you want. If you've already started with chicken and egg, you're probably beyond the skills of this, but it does teach you some of the basic skills. Now, as far as being advanced mode and simple mode, there is an option here. I'm currently in advanced. If I change it to simple, it removes some of the icons up the top here. That's basically all it's doing. I think most of you should be able to work in advanced mode. That adds in a few of these simple little icons up here. And the first thing you're going to have to do is set up some sprites. Now you'll notice up on the top here with all of these menu items, if you mouse over them, it should tell you this one is for creating a sprite. The other way you can do it is go over to Resources and click on Create Sprite. So that's the first thing we're doing, is creating some sprites. So that's a basic introduction to GameMaker. It does get rather complex as you progress through, and you will get challenges. The tutorials I'm going to follow through and build the game and video it so you can follow me on video, but there are also some PDF files in there for you to follow. So that's the basics of getting started, and I'll catch you in the next video.